we're going to hop right into the news. So this week, Nintendo has delayed Advance Wars. The quote from them, which they published on Twitter, says, "In light of recent world events, we have made the decision to delay Advance Wars 1 and 2 Reboot Camp, which was originally scheduled to release on Nintendo Switch April 8th. Please stay tuned for updates on a new release date." Luke, why do you think they delayed it?
In light of recent world events.
Yeah, but like what specifically?
I mean, Ukraine.
Oh, for sure. You think it has anything to do with the first level being Russia invading another country?
No, is it really?
Yep.
What?
Yep. The very
whoops.
first level has a very Russian style commander with a very Russian style army invading a neighboring country. So it's kind of bad timing.
Yeah, a little bit.
What's interesting
crazy.
about this is the original Advance Wars on Game Boy Advance, this is the remake of, was delayed after 9/11.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
It was scheduled to release September 10th.
Okay, so
September 10th.
if you see an announcement that Advance Wars is coming out, run, hide,
Yeah. Next time Advance
go
Wars
underground.
3 gets announced, something bad is
Yep,
going to happen. Maybe that's Nintendo's
that's
way of
crazy.
warning us about things. In other news, we have Xbox Quick Resume gets a feature update. So Quick Resume is one of the best things about the
for sure.
Series X and the Series S. It has
Mhm.
Quick Resume also. And what it does is it allows you to suspend your games up to, I think, 10
games.
10 games,
Yep.
yeah. And you can just hop right back into them where you left off. You don't have to pause. You don't have to save. It's amazing.
It's super cool. I've had games that I haven't played for 2 or 3 weeks that I completely forgot I was in the middle of playing, and I open it and it's like Quick Resume, and I was like, oh my gosh,
Yeah,
this is cool.
isn't that awesome?
I don't have to go through the menu again or anything.
I
I'm just right
Quick
into the
Resume
game.
a lot, especially when it's been time like that. The other cool thing about Quick Resume is if you unplug your Xbox and you take it over to your buddy's house, it still works.
Yep.
It without power, you can fully power off the
Which
Xbox.
is crazy. That's super
Unplug
impressive.
it out of the wall, take it somewhere else, and Quick Resume will still work. But the only issue with it is sometimes games fall out of that, especially if you try to do more than 10 games, one will rotate out, and sometimes
online games don't work, which makes sense. But
Right.
so even though for Black Ops 3, if I'm playing zombies or whatever, but I want to use the good gobble guns, I have to be connected to the internet, so I can't pause in the middle of my. I can't use Quick Resume for that.
That makes sense.
Which it makes sense. It's just it's a bummer that there's so many single player
You know
games
what
that
else is a
require an
bummer?
internet connection. What?
You ruined my transition.
Oh, sorry about that.
It's okay. What I was going to say is some games rotate out of it eventually,
Mhm.
but the new feature allows you to pin games so that they will never rotate out.
Oh, that's
so
cool.
if you got Red Dead Redemption and Skyrim and you're like, hey, those are the two I never want to
Right.
close out of Quick Resume, you can pin them into Quick Resume, and no matter what games come in and however the rotation works, they won't leave Quick Resume. So that's the new feature update that we got from
That's
that.
super
So
cool.
that's super awesome. I love that they keep innovating on their innovations. They keep adding to their new features, similar to things PlayStation has done lately. So things like this is what gets me excited about the new generation, especially right now because we're still getting cross-gen games coming out. I mean,
Yeah.
and the only real PS5 games we're getting is GTA 5, which is the third version. It's
Right.
absolutely ridiculous. So that stuff gets me excited. And speaking of Xbox, there is the Xbox Series X,
Uh-huh.
the Xbox Series S,
Uh-huh.
and there is a new Xbox in development.
Really?
It's not the successor because, like we talked about last week, they're always working on a successor.
Well, right. Yeah, of
It's
course.
probably, honestly, too early for them to be working on next gen. I'm sure they have some concepts
right.
bin somewhere, but they're actively in development of a new Xbox right now.
What's the source on that? Is that from Xbox?
So it was a leak.
Okay.
As a guy on Twitter leaked this out, and then we got the article from techtimes.com.
Okay.
But basically, this is not going to be a successor or a replacement for the X or S. This will be to go along with. This will be an alternative option.
Really?
Because
so this won't be like the Xbox One X.
Yeah, so it's not an upgrade. It's not a replacement. It will be a third style of
That's
so
weird.
so you've got the Series X, which is the powerhouse,
right?
the most powerful console on the market.
Yeah.
You have the Series S, which is a $300 console that is by far the most powerful console at that price range.
Absolutely.
But it's still like it's a streaming Xbox for next gen games.
Right.
Well, not streaming, but digital. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
So this is called Xbox Keystone. That's the leak name.
code name.
So it's the code name. Just like we had Project Scorpio.
Right.
For the One X. We are probably looking at what people are theorizing to be a Fire Stick.
What?
Yeah. Xbox Series Stick.
Really?
Yeah, it's not confirmed, obviously, and
so
this
like
is,
all cloud
it's
gaming?
just a leak, but it's probably cloud gaming, and it's probably like a USB Xbox device, and they might just call it an Xbox Series something.
Interesting.
Because so if you look at Xbox and their focus in this generation, it's been playing their games.
Right.
It's not about selling consoles. Their PS5 is outselling Xbox like nobody's business. That being said, Xbox is selling better than it ever has, but it's not their focus is to sell consoles. Their focus right now is get their games on computer, get their games on Game Pass,
Right.
get their Game Pass on the computer, getting their games on Switch even. They just want you playing the games. So
I'm just so skeptical of how well that's gonna work. I mean,
well, so
I haven't had any successful
Stadia,
cloud gaming.
but with a quality company behind it.
Hmm.
So Stadia was a viable
Interesting.
product,
Yeah.
an interesting idea.
For sure.
Like streaming games, like all you need is a Chromecast and a controller. When that was announced, do you remember how excited I was?
Oh yeah.
I was like,
Yeah,
this is
totally.
the future. Like there's no consoles, there's no nothing. You just plug in, you get 4K 60 frames if you have the internet to support it. And that's amazing. As much as I love collecting stuff, I was very excited about the idea of that being able to, because I love clean living spaces. So just having a TV on the wall and nothing else, and no consoles and no cables and no nothing under it, that sounds so attractive to me.
Yeah.
And
for
so
sure.
the reason Stadia failed is because they broke into the gaming industry the same time that they did Stadia, and they hired people the same time instead of releasing an exclusive at the same time. So they started 5 years too early, in my opinion.
Right.
They
Which
should
that's
have.
not
They
an
should have
uncommon
sat on
thing.
us. They should have hired Jade Raymond like they did, and had her develop an exclusive like they were going to,
Right.
and then launch Stadia. 4 or 5 years later with an exclusive, with some experience in the games industry. But instead, they totally botched it, and they made some deals with Ubisoft, and they made some mistakes, and they got Destiny on there. But you had to pay for your premium Stadia subscription, and then you had to
Right.
buy
And
$60
then the
games,
Yeah.
which is ridiculous.
Right.
It's too much.
Yeah. Yeah, but cloud game, something like Stadia with Game Pass behind it.
Exactly.
That's really cool.
Exactly.
That's super cool.
Yeah. So now you plug this bad boy in. So say it's a Fire Stick with a controller. What are those? $50 a piece. So call it $100. Maybe they do it at 80,
Sure.
and they call it the Xbox Series G or whatever for Game Pass, or S for streaming. Oh, we already have an S.
Yeah.
C for cloud. Xbox Series C. So you plug that actually rolls off the tongue pretty good. I'm gonna make that an official prediction. So you plug that into your TV, and then you have
An Xbox.
150 games that you can play.
Yeah, that's super cool. I hope it works. I'm skeptical.
Well, but if it doesn't work, you still got a Fire Stick and an Xbox controller. like you can still play Netflix and all those other things.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Maybe.
Well, it can do everything an Xbox can do, right? So you download Netflix onto it, you download Amazon onto it.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I mean, that's not the user interface that I want for those things. And also, like, pretty much everyone has a smart TV now.
Well,
so,
we're getting to that
you
point,
know,
but
like,
I mean, Fire Sticks still sell. People still
yeah, I
buy
mean,
them.
sure, they definitely do. I just
Especially
like, I don't
for
know.
like older TVs in secondary rooms. Like for the TV
Right.
I have in here,
Yeah.
for people's bedroom TVs, things like
Yeah,
that.
no, for sure.
Dude,
It's
you
just
know how
also
cool it would be?
smart
like,
TVs are just getting so cheap too that I feel like in 3 to 5 years, like
Yeah.
Fire Sticks are not gonna be
Totally.
selling. You know
Well,
what I mean?
We'll
like
see. We'll
now,
see.
so a Fire
I mean,
Stick
people still buy DVD
or
players,
a
dude.
Roku or that I actually saw someone buy a DVD player at
Yeah,
Best Buy the other day.
I'm telling you, Fire Sticks might be around longer than you think.
But no, I mean, maybe it's just gonna be a much smaller market is all I'm saying. You know, smart TVs
Yeah.
are just getting cheaper and cheaper and cheaper.
I'm just
and, like,
picturing how cool this would have been when we were kids. Like, we've got the Xbox, right, in the living room, and that's where that is. And then Mom says, "Go to bed," and we go to bed, and we plug in the Xbox Series C, and we cloud game in our bedroom. That would have been so cool.
for
So,
sure. That's true.
Yeah, I think this is a cool idea. I think if they do it for $100, a stick and a controller, if they do it for 80 even, would be a crazy steal. But that's the leak. So we don't know. It could be something else entirely. That's just what people are theorizing. But
Sure.
that's kind of the buzz right now. Sony had their State of Play last week. Did you watch that, Luke?
No, because I got a text message from you that said this was the worst State of Play ever. So I was like, all right.
Yeah, not only was it the
need,
worst State
no
of
need
Play
to watch
ever, it was, I mean, State of Plays in general are terrible. So
that. Right.
this is the worst.
Right, exactly.
Of the
So
worst.
when you said that, it was like,
yeah.
I don't have a PlayStation. I don't, like,
Right.
I care zero about
So
this.
I'm going to
you know?
just scroll through these and just kind of read off what we got. We got Exoprimal, which is a new IP from Capcom. It's a dinosaur, what looks to be like a zombie style game where you're like fighting off
like
the
a
dinosaurs.
survival game?
Yeah.
Wait, like a round-based game or like
I'm
a
not
open world survival?
I'm not
dinosaur
really
game?
sure. It
I'm
seems kind of.
I'm there for an open world survival dinosaur game. That sounds
but
fun.
not one that looks like Anthem. This looks terrible.
Ooh,
It looks really
yeah,
bad.
I don't
So,
like that.
Big miss. They should have brought back Dino Crisis, but they did this. The Dialfield Chronicle,
Ooh,
Valkyrie Elysium,
ah,
Returnal Ascension. Okay, so this is actually
okay.
kind of cool. So Returnal is getting multiplayer, which is dope because there's no way I was gonna finish this stupid game. But now I might. Now I might
Sure.
play with my buddy Josh. Returnal it's challenging. It's not Elden Ring style challenging,
Sure.
but it's eternally frustrating because every time you start over, you have to start over. Like, and
You could say
you
it's
die.
eternally frustrating.
Nice. Every time you die, you have to get new weapons. You have to get your health upgrades. There are some things that you keep, but for the most part, it's starting over.
Sure.
And so in Elden Ring, when I die, I feel challenged and excited and like,
Right.
man, this game beat me, and I have to really like get better and you know.
This seems like a game made for speedrunners. You know?
Oh yeah,
like,
totally.
The people who
Yeah,
restart
for sure.
games over and over and over and over again, and that is not me. you
Yeah.
know? So,
I don't know,
but
It's just
multiplayer is awesome. That's
the
really
kind
cool.
of hard that this is just it's a frustrating
Sure.
kind of hard. Ghostwire Tokyo, we've seen it a million times. I'm just ready to play this game. It looks awesome. It comes out in March. I think next week. I'm very excited for this. It's like a first person like sorcery shooter style.
Right. Yeah, I remember this.
It's very horrific, but it is not a horror.
right.
It's like an action horror, so it's not
Sure.
scary.
Yeah.
You know? But it's super scary looking. Really excited for that. Forspoken got delayed to doesn't say here. I think October. it looks fine. We'll see. I don't know. It's one of those PlayStation first party games that you're kind of like, what even is this? But then Horizon came out and it was great. Last of Us came out, it was great. They make good stuff there. So I'll try it, but
Sure.
it got delayed, probably for the better. It looks like the visuals need some work, but Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy Origin. So this is Dark Souls Final Fantasy.
Right.
So that's cool for people that like those things. And that's coming out March 18th, really soon. I don't know if you saw the clip that was going around of them all meeting, but it was like the most macho, like bad writing of male characters I've ever seen. It's pretty
That's
funny.
hilarious.
But yeah, that's that. Gundam Evolution. Oh my gosh, so excited. Okay, TMNT Cowabunga Collection.
I know you're very excited for this.
I am very excited for this. This is so cool. It's got 8 games, Luke. So we've got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Arcade, Turtles in Time Arcade, and then we got 1, 2, and 3 from the NES.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have Tournament Fighters, Turtles in Time for Super Nintendo, Tournament Fighters for the Super Nintendo, Hyperstone Heist, Tournament Fighters for the Genesis, Fall of the Foot Clan for Game Boy, Back from the Sewers for Game Boy, and Radical Rescue for the Game Boy. This is one of the best retro collections I have ever seen.
And hopefully it doesn't suck.
Oh, yeah, I mean, why would you say that?
I hear retro collection and
Retro collections are often terrible, but it's Turtles.
Exactly.
It's Turtles.
So,
it's like gonna be good.
Hopefully it's
I just want the special edition to come in a pizza box.
Yes, that would be so cool. That would be awesome.
Like all the pepperonis could just be the icons of the game or something.
Yeah, totally.
Oh man, that would be
be so cool.
It says in addition to PlayStation releases, it will be out on Xbox, PC, and Switch as well.
Oh, awesome.
So,
I feel like this is a
limited
great
run.
Switch
I know
pickup.
that you're not listening to this podcast, but I'm going to send it to you and ask that you listen to it because of this clip. Please, limited run games. Please. Make a Switch special edition. I will buy it. I might buy 2. And everyone else will buy it. Please make it. Please. Please. Thank you. Okay. Gigabash. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Okay. Anyways, next we have Trek to Yomi. This looks kind of cool. It's like a black and white style, like Kurosawa movie samurai game. It looks like it's a side scroller sometimes and then sometimes not. It just looks like a very cinematic samurai experience.
Sure.
I'll probably play it. It says it's coming in spring, so I don't know when spring is over. Yeah. But we'll see.
All right.
It's kind of weird that it doesn't have an official date yet, but it's coming soon. So that looks pretty cool. But that was it. So between Turtles, Ghostwire Tokyo, and Trek to Yomi, those were the cool things. Ghostwire Tokyo we knew about. This is just, hey, it's coming out this month. Trek to Yomi, same thing. We already knew about that.
Yeah.
But Turtles was a hype announcement. Don't get me wrong. I'm stoked on Turtles.
This definitely doesn't. It was not worthy of a state of play.
No, it was like 25 minutes of
These
just.
could have been Twitter announcements.
Yeah, I know. Well, Sony doesn't. Okay. Also, they're doing another state of play like next week.
What? Why?
Just for Hogwarts.
What? Okay.
They're giving us like 18 minutes of footage, which is I mean, that's a lot, but what I think would have been way better, because people are really excited for this game.
Oh yeah, super excited for it.
Put that at the end of State of Play with some really cool new reveals, and then say, hey, later today we're dropping this, 23 minutes or 18 minutes of footage or whatever. That would have been way better than doing two separate State of Plays a couple weeks apart. Doesn't make any sense to me, but I'm not Sony, so maybe I don't know what is best, I guess, but I think it's dumb.